Hello friends, it is Wednesday, June 4th, and it is 89 degrees. Super crazy. It's the last day possible for some sort of adventure ride during the middle of the day, and I'm gonna take full advantage of it. It's either going to be epically stupid or epic. We'll find out. We're gonna do West National Trail, which is somewhere up there, and I think we go up here to get up to it somehow and come down over there and then come back. Probably gonna be really tough, hoping I don't regret it. About 9 miles, and I guess the trail back from over there is super hard, but there's a bailout option to take the road that is right here, so we may end up doing that depending on how much it wipes us out. I did a CT scan for my incisional hernia yesterday, and it kind of took me out of the game for the day, which is really weird. I got super dizzy when they were doing it, so I feel pretty good today, and we're gonna see how it goes. Catch you on the trail. All right, we're off. Some clouds have been moving in. It's making the weather pretty nice. Not too sure about this first starting point. I guess it's pretty gnarly up to the top. I might take the road. We're riding the one-up components thick grips today. The rev grips, we're just not doing it. And I don't know about these either. But got them at REI. It's worth a shot. I can take them back. I talked to a guy who posted a video of this loop on YouTube today, and he said this trail that I'm on, which is also the trail back, is quite a chore. But I said the downhill is worth it, and I can take the road back if I want. So far, I would agree. And then the Ranger Trail we gotta take to the top. We're doing about half of it. Looks pretty gnarly. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I am a long-time mountain biker, and now a liver transplant patient with diastolic heart failure, in recovery, doing well, but had to switch to emtb, and I'm loving it. So if you don't like it, too bad. I started on fully rigid mountain bikes in the late 80s, so I've paid my dues. I've mostly ridden hardtails up until this point. I was mostly a cross-country rider, and now I'm riding these big e-mountain bikes. They're all kind of geared toward enduro for the full power ones, and I've been trying to progress into riding harder trails on them. And it's a journey and a battle. All right, we're already doing a little bit of hike-a-bike. This first part of the Ranger Trail, it's not too bad, but I just like run out of steam on it. And up here, I mean, it's a little technical, but not really bad. But now that's where it continues and goes over there, and we, I think, go get up there somehow. So we'll probably be doing a little bit of hiking. I planned for that. Not the end of the world, although hike-a-bike wears me out. I think getting it over at the beginning is a good idea. if you're riding all the way up this ranger trail, color me impressed. It really amazes me that a lot of folks are just, this is just normal riding for them. It's pretty cool. I wish if I'd stayed consistent over the years, maybe I'd be like that. Okay, we've gone about a millimeter up the ranger trail on the map. And it is a climb. Oh, it's steep, a little bit rocky. There was a switchback that we just passed that was pretty gnarly. This part's not too bad. Usually as soon as I say that, I run out of juice. It's definitely gotten more tech as we go. Walked some things. If you're good at uphill step-ups with exposure, you won't have a problem. I'm not good at that. Like this. In a switchback. Okay, we're about halfway from the road crossing to the top of Ranger. It's gotten pretty hard. There's definitely rideable sections for me, but it's really steep. It's pretty exposed. I don't really mind this kind of exposure as much. Trail's kind of wide, but I just run out of steam on this long of a climb, even with the e-bike. I just have trouble breathing. They say it's worth it when you get to the top. It's getting steeper and chunkier. I think there's a little bit of climbing on National too. We got about a third of a mile to go. And then I think somewhere up there's National. I think that cut across right there goes to National, which I think is cutting across the top of it. And I think I may have just gotten stung by a bee in my armpit, which is rad. Felt a stinging sensation and was like, man, that felt like a bee sting. And then a bee flew in front of my face. So, I don't know. So, hopefully in my immunosuppressed state, I can fend it off and it won't make me sick. So close to the top I can taste it, but man, this went from black to worse real quick. Okay, I can say without pause that the Ranger Trail sucks. Yeah, man, that is quite a hike. The bottom half was pretty easy overall, but the top half, there's just not, it's so steep it's hard to get started, and then it's pretty chunky in a lot of places, and it just keeps going and going and going. So we're at the top of National now. Excuse me, we're at National. The top is up there. I'm hoping it's smoother. We climbed from all the way over there, down where those cars are. And I'm pooped. Gonna eat some carbs and carry on and hope that the rest is a little easier. All right, we've reached National. This already looks a lot more rideable of a grade. I think we got a good chunk of uphill before we go down. Feels good to be pedaling again. See how long it lasts. Whoa, almost hit a barrel cactus. All right, it's a little sketchy up here. Not too bad. Gotta watch your pedals on the right side. We got some pretty scary exposure on the left. This is definitely not a ride I would do in a group ride scenario or with other people, because I would just hold them up. God damn, that is some exposure. This got me going a little here. Quite a drop off. Most of the trail is pretty easy, just exposed. So when there's a little technical spot or a rock I might hit my pedals on, it freaks me out a bit. One little slip up, you're going down there. Getting a little more fun. My voice is starting to go out. I asked my nurse practitioner friend about why that might be. And he said since I mouth breathe a lot, it can dry out my vocal cords. Makes sense to me. I know there's a part in this, 2 parts probably, that are pretty tech. So I imagine I'll be walking a little bit. So far, so fun. The cool thing about Haas versus South Mountain is when they build a climbing trail, it's a groomed climbing trail. Oh, let's check out this overlook. Dang. Rad. Talk about scenic. So far, West National is my jam. There's just no good way to get up here. I think it gets a little more tech at the bottom, but we'll find out. If I make it up this, I'll be shocked. Almost ran out of power. Okay. I threw a bunch of downhill. Now we're on a ridge. I think there's a couple little tricky sections on this. A little tricky here and there. Not too bad. I know there's a really chunky part down here. Looks like we're about halfway down West National. So far I give West National an A. I give Ranger an F. If I knew the lines, it might be an A+. Oh, God. Oh. As I was coming up Ranger, every time I leaned over, I saw water dripping out of my neck. Thought my hydration pack was leaking out of the hose. Turns out it was just sweat and condensation. Man, this trail's rad. There's definitely some climbs. It's not all downhill. But only a few real steep ones. Oh, jeez. Looked scary, wasn't bad. Okay, I think we're about to have a major, great view. Oh yeah. Holy cow. Rad. I got a feeling it's gonna get steep here soon. So we've got to get all the way down this in under 2 miles. And you can see we're very much at the top still. Got some hawks circling me. Hoping I die, I guess. It's a little techy here and there. But as someone who is very liberal with trail rating since I'm a big wuss, so far, I'd say a high blue. There is a decent amount of exposure on a good chunk of it. Ugh.
Most of the text kind of like this. We're winding down to the bottom of National. We still have a mile to go to get somehow down there. And I'm starting to wear out a bit. So I may take that road there back to the truck rather than ride Bajada. So let's get to the bottom, see what happens. Oh, I'm whistling out on stuff. That's how I know I'm tired. Whistling out on easy stuff. Ooh, I hope it's not super technical this last mile. I'm praying this last mile isn't too tech. We'll find out, won't we? As I smash my pedal. It's a lot steeper. Oh shit. Yeah, it's a lot steeper. Okay. That part's a little scary. Doable if I knew the line. Very loose. Okay, this section's pretty steep and chunky. I'd call it a low black. With the way I'm feeling right now, probably not best to go full bore. Okay, I just walked down a pretty rowdy section. Definitely black diamond. I knew there was going to be a super gnarly section, and that was definitely it from watching videos. And man, I think that's where most of the elevation loss was. So we got a mile back to the road, and then I think 4 miles to the car. So I think I'll probably be taking the road because I'm starting to fade. All right, looks like it's going to be mellow, at least for a little while. But we'll see what happens. Anything can happen when you're riding blind. Decent amount of exposure here, so I'm gonna be careful. Oh, yowzers. Okay. Oh, sketch again. Of course. Oh, this is really rowdy. No way I'm riding down that. Okay, I've hit the bonk zone. I am bonked. And when I bonk, I start making bad decisions. So, I'm praying for a little bit of ease in this last 0.7 miles to Bajada. And I'm hoping I can catch the road back there. The road is a little scary with no bike lane, but it'll be a lot easier of a way for me to get back. I gotta say, those little electrolytes I've been using in the squeeze dropper bottle have revived me a little bit. Even though I've been drinking electrolytes all the way, Tailwind and Vitalite, I was starting to go downhill pretty bad. Not in the literal sense. Well, I guess in the literal sense. But metaphorical too. Okay, it feels like I've been walking for ages. When I bonk, every technical ability leaves my body. and it sucks. I get scared of everything. Hoping the road will get me to the truck fairly easy, but it's probably windy and hilly. So God only knows. All the clouds have gone away, so that means the sun's gonna be beating down on me the whole way home. On my back part of the way, I think. I think we might be on Bajada now, but I'm not sure. Sign up here. No, we're still on National. I can see the road in my GPS. If it was all going to be like this, I'd just take it. I made it to the road. It's 2.5 miles to the truck. And it looks like it's pretty flat. I am super beat down. I ate some salt stick tabs, drank some more Vitalite, which I'm about out of, and drank a high carb little energy booster gel packet, cola packet thing. So hopefully this won't be too bad back. I take back everything I said about West National being easy. Granted, far from the hardest black trail I've ridden, but those few sketchy downhill steep runs just wore me out doing hike-a-bike. Praise the Lord. Pass the biscuits. Made it back to the truck. It was not pretty. So, started out strong despite having to climb Ranger Trail. My voice is gone, sorry. And the top part of National is amazing. Great riding up there. Totally in my wheelhouse. And then got to this pretty rowdy part about 3/4 of the way in. And had to hike down it. And I started to bonk at the bottom of that. Once I bonk, it's over. My confidence is gone and I suck at riding everything. So I walked a chunk of it back, got down to Bajada, and took San Juan Road back to my truck. I was bummed. I was hoping this would be a ride that I could do every once in a while. And maybe if I get my skills back, I could get up to it, but that middle downhill is pretty rowdy. Really really steep, really slippery. So I don't know about that part at least. Doesn't help that it's 92, 93 degrees and a little bit humid. I didn't see another soul out there except at the bottom of Ranger Trail I saw a runner. And now I'm ready for some cold beverages. People love proving their vehicles up here. So yeah, I want to ride with the Enduro bros, but I'm just a trail bro, at least for now. See you on a night ride next time probably.